Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sanga conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To curse the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sanga conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mata Ji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Ravan from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ravindaksha Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Nitika from Delhi, India. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Nitika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and being on the video, taking the notes. So sincere student, Mataji. Welcome. Is there
Hare
anybody?
Krishna Abhinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your wonderful services. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी प्लीज एक्सेप्ट माय humble obeisances all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and chanting so nicely. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Oh, glorious Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Ravan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who
Hare
would like
Krishna,
to?
Vinita Kandavitka Mataji. My pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Moini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Balavinda.
Hare Krishna, Balavrinda. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Janavi.
Hare Krishna, Jahnavi. Welcome to the call. So, Jahnavi, your school starting today?
Yeah.
All the best
My
for
school's
your
starting today.
all the best for your schools.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, my pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, Komadiki Mataji. I see your microphone is unmuted, but
Hare
your voice
Krishna
is not
Vinita
coming.
Gandharvika Mataji. Thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees and to you. Very nice classes you are giving. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Komadiki Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice to have your association, Mataji, and hear your sweet voice. Thank you for blessing me, Mataji. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll start the recording.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All those to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation, and all glories to your wonderful services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. We'll start the recording. Prabhuji is there on the call. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sukmar Gaura Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 8th chapter, 39th verse. Before I hand over the call to Prabhu, I would like to read Prabhuji's brief introduction. His Grace Sukmar Gaura Prabhu was born in Maharashtra, India in 1980, brought up in social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for the inquiry into the mysteries of God's creation. Passed College of Engineering in Pune, Mechanical Engineering in 2003. He came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. He found all his questions answered in Srila Prabhupada books. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada books and became a sincere practitioner. He joined NCDEX in Mumbai as an assistant manager, worked for 3 years. Later, he took 2 years of brahmachari training course in Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. He was in youth preaching department and was in seva for 1 second, there's something mistake here. He was in the youth preaching and department and was in the seva guiding the youth. He was also he always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help misguided youth by helping them understanding the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. Prabhuji gives such a sweet classes and he has many other services. He serves as a youth counselor and education in the education development seminar. It does many other services. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhuji tells very nice stories and gives very beautiful classes always. Prabhuji classes are like seminars. Thank you, Prabhu. Over to you.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swaparantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshwanyavadi Paschatya Deshadare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 39. Naitan manas tava katha suvikuntanatha sampriyate durita dushtamasa dutibram kamaturam harsha shoka vayesh artanam tasmin katha tava gatim vimrishamidina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, My mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called distress. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus, it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in the topics concerning you. I am therefore most fallen and poor. In such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here, Maharaj Parikshit represents himself as a common man, although he actually has nothing to do with this material world. Prahlad is always situated in the Vaikuntha planet of the spiritual world, but on behalf of fallen souls, he asks how. When his mind is always disturbed by material things, he can discuss transcendental position of the Lord. The mind becomes sinful because we are always engaged in sinful activities. Anything not connected with Krishna consciousness should be understood to be sinful. Indeed, Krishna demands in Bhagavad Gita 1866, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papepyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions, and do not fear. As soon as one surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna immediately relieves one of the reactions of sinful activities. Therefore, one who is not surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord should be understood to be sinful, foolish, degraded among men, and bereft of all real knowledge because of atheistic propensities. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Namam dushkrikino mudha prapatyante naradhama mayaya apritagyana asuram bhavavashirita. Therefore, especially in this age of Kali, the mind must be clean, and this is possible only by chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Cheto Darpana Marganam. In this age, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only method by which to clean the sinful mind. When the mind is completely cleansed of all sinful reactions, one can then understand his duty in the human form of life. Krishna consciousness movement is meant to educate sinful men so that they may become pious simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam. Kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. To cleanse the heart so that one may become sober and wise in this age of Kali, there is no value to any method other than chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prahlad Maharaj has confirmed this process in the previous verse. Twadvirya Gayana Mahamratamakrichi. Prahlad Maharaj further confirms that if one's mind is always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, that very qualification will purify one and keep one purified always. To understand the Lord and his activities, one must free his mind from all contamination of the material world, and this one can achieve by simply chanting the Lord's holy name. Thus one becomes free of all material bondage. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we welcome all the devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. So grateful to all of you for being here this morning and allowing me to make a presentation on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 39. A very powerful and candid verse which is giving a clear-cut scenario of what is happening with the conditioned soul. It's exactly what we all are going through at some point of time or the other. So let's look at the shlok, what Prahlad Maharaj is saying here. So here Prahlad Maharaj is presenting the mental state. He is presenting a mental state which is not favorable for remembering Krishna or trying to think about Krishna or trying to speak about Krishna or trying to connect with Krishna. So what is that mental state? Tasmin. In that mental state. Katham. He is saying in that mental state, how shall I? Katham is how shall I? Vimrishami, I'll be able to understand you. I'll be able to make an attempt to discuss about you, speak about you, hear about you. Gatim, about your activities. Now the Lord is asking him, so what's the problem? What is bothering you? What difficulties are you facing here in your spiritual life? So he's saying Vikuntanatha. See, the word that is used is exactly opposite to what the mental state is. So he's saying, my dear Lord, you are Lord of Vaikunta, Vikunta, where there is no kunta, where there is no stress, where there is no anxiety, where there is no anger. All these things which are troubling a conditioned soul are absent there. That is why he is making very specific point. The state of mind is given in one word, Vikuntha. There is no kunta. Here there is huge amount of kunta at every step, at every moment. So he's calling him, Lord, you stay in a place which is Vikunta, which is free of anxiety, stress, and suffering. But we are staying in a place which is kunta, which is filled with stress, anxiety. So that speciality of the place is given. And he's saying that you stay in a place, and the place where I stay are exactly different and opposite. Now the Lord is asking, so what is creating that anxiety? Etat mana, this mind. Oh, okay. So what is this mind doing? And what is this mind not allowing you to do? No, etat. Certainly not. Sampriyeta. It is never pacified and it is never interested. Okay, in what it is not interested? Tava katha. Hearing about you. Mind only wants to hear about his own self, about his own glories, about his own activities, about his own deeds, about what he is doing. He is more interested in hearing about that. Now the question is, why so? Why it is so? Why is the mind acting like this? Then he is saying, mind, he is giving eight words to describe what the mind is doing. The first thing that he is using is durita, dushtam. The mind is absolutely polluted by what? Sinful activities. He is only and only interested in bad actions. Okay. And what is the other thing? A sadhu. He is absolutely dishonest. When it comes to him, he is all good. When it comes to others, he is all bad. Tivram. And it is very difficult to control the mind. What to speak of any ordinary living being? We can see great souls not being able to handle their emotional disturbance. Yesterday, I was reading Ramayana. And this is the event where this is the war scene. This is the last Ayodhya Yuddha Kand, and the war is at the last phase. Now, in last phase, we know that there are only two people who are left there. One is Ravan, and other is his son Indrajit. And Indrajit, we all know, is very, very powerful. And Indrajit had a benediction that he can never be killed by anybody except for a person who has not slept and not eaten for 14 full years, not one day missing. Okay, for 14 days, 14 years, not slept for a moment and not eaten anything. This was the criteria with which he had received all the benediction. And there was only one person in the entire creation at that point of time, and it was Lord Lakshman, who could fulfill this criteria. And the war went on to such a great extent that Indrajit fought so badly that Lord Ram and Lakshman both fell unconscious. And as soon as both of them felt unconscious, the entire Vanar Seva is panicked, badly panicked. They can't understand because the two heroes because of whom, on whose strength they are fighting, are now gone. So they lose their patience, they lose their strength, vitality, everything, and there is huge chaos. And Indrajit takes benefit of this, creates a massive massacre, and then reaches back to his city. And as soon as he reaches Lanka, he tells his father that both are now gone. We have won the war. Sita is yours. And Ravan is so happy, and there is huge announcement that there is a party, there is a celebration. Everybody is in a festive mood. And that is the time when Indrajit tells the daughter of Vibhishan, Trijata, that you go and tell Mother Sita that they both are now gone. So there is no need for you to lament. Now you are Ravana's property and you better accept it. And if she doesn't believe, take her on the Pushpak Viman and take her to the site. So Trijata tells her this is the news, and she takes Sita on the Pushpak Viman and they both move towards the war zone. And from the flight, Mother Sita sees Ram and Lakshman are absolutely unconscious. They are not making any movement, and there is huge chaos in the entire Vanar Sena. And the top leaders are running either. And this is the time when Tivram, very difficult to control the mind. Mother Sita loses her patience, loses her tolerance, loses all her strength, and collapses on the Vimana itself. And Trijata has to wake her up again. And she starts crying that Ram is gone, Lakshman is gone, now what will happen to me? I lost all, whatever I had was only both of them. And she's crying. And that is the time when this uncontrolled, difficult mind, how it can be controlled. So that is the time Trijata comes into prominence, and Trijata tells Mother Sita, see, you have to understand that this can never happen. So Sita is saying, see, they are lying, how can this not happen? And that is the time when Trijata discloses one thing, two things she says prominently. She says that the Pushpak Viman is designed in such a way that no widow women can climb on this Pushpak Viman. And since Ram is still alive and you are not a widow, it is still carrying you, it is still on flight. That is the time when Sita gets back her confidence and she says, see, the Vanars are running, they are not crying. Why they are running? Because they understand that they are unconscious. Something still can be done and they are searching for a solution. When she hears this, then Sita regains her mental peace and mental calm. So this mind is Tivram, very difficult to control. And the easiest way to control the mind is this Trijata-like devotee person who can be in your life. When that person gives you the right vision to see the things as they are, then we get back our peace, mind settles down, and then we can move ahead in life. Then the fourth thing that is given here is Kama Puram. It is filled with absolute lusty desire and it has strong lusty tendencies. Kama-aturam. So from Kama-aturam, now we have to take to the mind to a level where it is Krishna-aturam. And we'll see how this will happen in this today's session. The fifth thing it is explaining is Harsha Shoka. Sometimes it is very happy, sometimes it is very sad. When something good happens, we think the life is so beautiful. And when something bad happens, then immediately we question, where is Krishna? I've been chanting 16 rounds, I'm coming in devotee association. How do we at times forget that we still have huge amount of sinful reactions to be dealt with? Mind is very easy. Mind easily forgets that we have huge amount of karma that is still pending and we have to clear it off. So happy when good things happen, and in some small things, something here and there, we lose our control on the situation. We feel so bad. We don't feel like chanting. We don't like coming with devotees. We don't like hearing. Nothing is good on that day when the mind is disturbed. Harsha Shoka. Sixth, always fearful. I have this thing. What will happen if something, what I like, if that is taken away from me? Always fearful. Always fearful. There are so many devotees we have seen. So many devotees express their heart. I can't function if my father is lost, my mother is lost, my son is lost, my daughter is lost. How do I function without all of them? That fear, it takes away the peace, the mental stability. You can't function. Ishan, and so many desires, so many desires. This is the second point that we will be discussing today. First is how to bring the mind from Kamatur to Krishnatur. And second is Ishan, so many desires. And how do this desire arise? What are the three main roots of this desire, which are given in the Puranas? We'll take these three and then we'll elaborate on these 2 points. And Prabhupada has also given a detailed explanation, which we'll take reference of all that. And the last thing it is Artha, distress, 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 pain, pain, pain. Mind is giving you less of pleasure and more of pain. So look at the concern of Prahlad Maharaj. He is saying, my dear Lord, with this disturbed state of mind, how would somebody be able to think about you? And that is absolutely accepted. He is making a presentation on our behalf. He is saying, Lord, they are disturbed. You will have to consider this point. And the Lord understands that we do get disturbed. Here, Sita is getting disturbed. But we do need some time. See, there is an event. I'll quote Ramayana again. We know all this event when Ram denies Mother Sita to take her with him to the forest for 14 years. And she is very harsh. She is very harsh. And Lord Ram feels the pain. Okay, he feels the pain. And they go together, 13 years they're together, 13th year is completed, in the 14th year, 10 months she is in deep separation, 11th month the army reach, and 12th month they win the war and they are again back. Now when the war is over, and Ram tells Vibhishan, you are the king now, get her beautifully dressed. And she comes out beautifully dressed. But as soon as she comes, Lord Ram turns his face. Everybody shocked. And in the entire assembly, Sita Devi is shouting. She is so disturbed. She is so disturbed. How can my husband behave with me like this? She is absolute. And the entire army is watching. Not one, not two, entire army. The whole Vanar Sena is watching. She is shouting. She is crying. And that is the time she tells Lakshman, Lord Ram is saying nothing. She tells Lakshman, go and make that fire. Lord Lakshman makes the fire. She enters the fire, and Agnidev gets her back. And as soon as Agnidev gets her back, he's like so happy. Sita, crying. Now look, there was a time when Sita gave him a pain, and this was the time when Lord Ram gave her a pain, a deep pain. Now, why did both of them do this? They both were disturbed at different times. Because Sita knew, I have 14 years to get back Ram on track. Same thing Lord Ram did. He understood that I have a huge amount of time. This is the time of my crisis. If I don't set the right example, it may create havoc in the future time. So little pain to Sita. I accept it is painful. He doesn't say that this is not, he accepts that it is painful, but he understands I still have time to recover her back. Just like Sita served Lord Ram for 13 years, 14 years. Lord Ram understood I can serve her and get her back. But the point is, mind gets disturbed. And it is the time when we also forget, where is Ram, where is Krishna, where is chanting? It is disturbing. Yes, mind does havoc. So today we'll be discussing on these 2 points. And Srila Prabhupada's purport is absolutely stunning, and everything is in detail. I am just elaborating that purport with some stories from here and there to make the point. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport is mentioning that Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee. But for our sake, he's explaining our condition to the Lord, and Lord understands it very nicely. So never ever you think that the Lord doesn't understand my mind, doesn't understand my disturbed condition, and if I don't do this, then the Lord will be displeased. No, keep that fear away. Keep that fear away. We are in a domain where we want to love. This is not the domain for fear. Never think this. I've seen n number of devotees saying, what will happen if I don't do this? Will the Lord be happy with me? Will he punish me? Why? We are here to love Krishna. Let's make this point very clear. Where has this fear come from? He understands. Prahlad Maharaj is making him understand. Please, sir, understand. We all are struggling with our mind, our impure mind, our senses, our intelligence, our egos. Lord does understand. Prabhupada makes this very brilliant and very clear at the first line. So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying that, my dear Lord, you see. So the point here that Prabhupada is making is, he's trying to pinpoint our condition. It is not his condition. And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord, I can understand you constantly appear in many forms. Why? to shower the nectar of your name, form, pastime qualities. Now, how frequently is the Lord coming? Please understand, we don't have to look from our time perspective. Always we have to calculate in one day of Brahma. Now, if you read 1:3:26, Avtara hi asankhya. In one day of Lord Brahma, asankhya avataras are coming. If you think from our time perspective, yes, it may think that is very long. This time, and then now he's coming here. No. But if you think in one day of Brahma, he is continuously coming again. For whom? It is for me, for you, for all of us. Why? To shower that nectar of name, form, qualities, and pastime. But the point is, the Lord understands I am coming again and again. But why are these people not able to connect with me? So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord, they are conditioned jiva, they are so disturbed by their impure mind. Their impure mind doesn't allow them to think about you, hear about you. Sometimes it is WhatsApp, sometimes it is Facebook, sometimes it is something else coming up, sometimes it is news, sometimes it is sport. So many things. Why? Impure mind. Just one simple thing is troubling us so much. So the Lord is coming again and again for all of us. He is ready, but we are stuck. We are stuck due to our own impure mind. Why? Because impure mind will always seek material pleasure. And it doesn't have any attraction to spiritual activities. We have to accept this. And that's okay. That is acceptable. It is not denied. The only thing is what the step we have to take. Okay. So the point here is that impure mind will always seek material pleasure. And it doesn't feel any attraction to the spiritual activity. It doesn't have any desire to understand the truth. And that is why bhakti process is very distasteful. I don't like to chant. I have to chant, but I don't like to chant. I've been initiated from last 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, whatever number of years. I have to chant. I don't like to chant. Do we have this experience at times? We do. I don't feel like chanting. I'm disturbed. Somebody said something. Bhakti I haven't developed taste for bhakti yet. Now, this is the state of mind Prahlad Maharaj is speaking. And he is saying this for us because Prabhupada is quoting this shloka, which will be coming after three shlokas, 41, 2, and 3. Okay. And this is famous shloka. Naivad uje par duratya vaitaranya twadvirya gayana mahamrita magna chitta. He's saying my chitta, my mind is absolutely absorbed. So he is saying, I am so happy. Shochis tato vimukate indriya artha. But the people who have made indriya their artha, sense enjoyment their artha, maya sukha bharam udvato vimudhan. And they are carrying the bharam, they are carrying the burden of what? Family, society, name, fame, prestige. For what? Maya sukha, for the illusory happiness. Vimuda. So he's in one shloka, first two lines, he's saying, I am happy, I am not concerned with anybody. But immediately in the next two lines, he's saying, I am absolutely concerned about whom? Vimuda, the people who have made material happiness as the goal of life. Look at the brilliant sensitivity. He is so sensitive. He understood I am happy, but they are not. And he is out of concern. He is telling the Lord, do something for them. Do something for them. Does this happen in our communities as well? My 16 rounds are good. My spiritual life is steady. I am so happy. Everything is good. But when I see some devotees struggling, do I feel the same kind of compassion? This is the success of spiritual life. Please understand. This is something very, very, very serious. And we have seen this in n number of places. Senior devotee is not able to understand. Okay, today you may be steady, but he is not steady. He'll take some time. Here Sita is taking time to get steady. Lord Ram is taking time. He understands that if I give time to Sita, she'll settle down. If Mata Sita is saying, if I give time to Lord Ram, he'll settle down. We all need that time. We have to be patient. But at times, it's so quick. I am so quick. He is like this. She is like this. He does like that. She does like that. Everybody is struggling. Please understand. Everybody has his own share of struggles. So let not be the first person to point out the struggles of others. In this case, let's be last, or if possible, let's not be anywhere in the picture. Here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I am happy, but sir, he is struggling. You have to do something for him. His material desires are struggling. He's pulling him down. He's so badly stuck. So the very point that we have to understand is, what's the actual trap of Maya here? The quick material pleasures. I'll tell you a very nice story. I love this story because so instructive, so instructive. There was once a boy. He was working for a company, and is in a village side working somewhere, and he is very sincere, hard worker. Is very good person, but because of his good qualities, he's not able to manipulate the business, and his boss is constantly pushing him, manipulate the business, get more money, get more money. But he says, sir, I can't, because that's not my nature. So one day, out of anger, the boss fires him out. He says, you're good for nothing, get out of here, and we don't need you anymore. He says, okay. He leaves the job, but now he has to find, because he's from not a very good financial background. So he's searching for a job, and there is one person he finds on the way, and he's carrying 3 bag loads. So he's thinking what to do. Somebody should give me some work. And he sees this, but he's an old man. He's saying, maybe I should help him or not. He's thinking. And the old man sees him and he says, come here. He says, okay. He says, can you help me? He says, okay, what help you need? He says, see, I have 3 full loaded bags, and I'm not that young to carry. So can you help me carry this one bag? He says, okay, but what will I get? He says, I'll pay you 3 gold coins. So he says, wow, good deal. 3 gold coins. He says, okay, give me. So he picks up that bag and he says, it's too heavy. He says, yes, there are all copper coins in this bag, you see. He says, okay, copper coins. So he's carrying that huge bag. He starts moving. And he, on the way, now they have to cross a river. He reaches faster because he's young, moving fast. The old man comes holding those 2 heavy bags. And the young person tells this old man, so quickly you cross, because the time is up and maybe the water will increase, so you won't be able to cross. Old man says, no, I can't cross. He says, why? Because with these 2 heavy bags, if I slip, I'll go away with the water. So he says, okay, give me 1 bag, I can carry it. So the old man says, I won't pay you more. He says, oh, it's okay, you give me that bag. He says, no, I can't give you. So he says, why? He says, because there are silver coins in this bag. And I've worked hard day and night for this bag, this gold coins, silver coins. He said, don't worry, I've been fired because I was good at work. I was loyal at work. I didn't manipulate the business. And that's why I'm empty-handed today. So he gives the other bag. Now he's taking 2 bags. He crosses the other man. The old man is carrying that 1 bag. They both cross the river. They're moving ahead. They're talking something good, this, that's happening. And ultimately, that's the last stage that they have to cross. And there's a huge mountain there. Now they have a huge mountain to cross. And this old man says, sorry, nothing doing. I can't cross this. It's too much for me. River was still okay, but mountain is something I can't. He says, okay, you give me the 3rd bag. It's okay for me. I can hold 3 loads. He says, no, I can't give you. I can't give you this bag. Why? He says, gold coins. And this is the final thing that I have, which I'm too attached. I can't give you anything of this. He says, see, if you don't cross, we won't be able to reach your home. And it's already getting late now. Sun will set. And if we get stuck, then maybe thieves may come and rob us. So with great hesitation, he gives the bag. So he's carrying all the 3 bags. Now he's young, so he's moving at a better pace. This man is coming slowly, slowly, slowly. And look at what happens. He's seeing that this man is far behind. Now look at what this mind, the 8 and 9 symptoms of the mind. Exactly this is what is happening. Look at how the mind starts troubling. He says, look, we have worked so hard, we didn't get anything. But this 3 full bags can change your life. Only thing is, take these 3 bags and run away. This person won't be able to catch you at any given point. He's so old. He's struggling with his mind. He says, no, till date I haven't done this. Mind is saying, this can be your last chance. You can be rich. You can have all that you want in your life. Everything will come. This 3 bags is the thing. And ultimately he gives into his mind. You have to understand this thing. Mind will first ask for your permission. Mind has that setting given by Krishna. Mind cannot directly rush. It will seek your permission, and once you give permission to mind, you're gone. You are absolutely gone. So the mind seeks his permission, the boy gives permission, he starts running with all those 3 bags, and he runs at whatever energy and pace he has. He runs there, goes to his house, and he's so happy. Immediately closes the door. He says, now it's done. My life is settled. Everything is so good now. And with that great enthusiasm, he starts opening the bags. And the first bag, with great enthusiasm, he thinks that this must be carrying the copper coins. He opens it and he finds all stones there. He feels so bad. He feels the old man cheated me. He says, no, second must be there. Second must be there. He opens the second bag thinking silver coins, but he finds all colorful stones. He feels so sad. He opens the third bag and he finds all rocks there. And he's so sad. What have I done? Because on top of the third bag, there is a paper. On the paper, it is written, I am the king of this country. I have no son. I was searching for a suitable candidate. If only if you could have made this, reach me, this bag at my place, you could have been the next king. Every time, mind is doing the same thing. We could have been with Krishna, but we are here. Why? For that immediate sense pleasure. That's the trap. Each time we fall to it. Each time we give up into the material pleasure, thinking that this will make me happy rather than the spiritual happiness. It may be money, it may be name, it may be fame, it may be prestige, it may be anything, post and position, any small thing. We have given up that spiritual wealth n number of times. Still we are struggling with it. Still we are struggling with it. This is the trap the mind puts. Yes, the old man was the king of the country. That is the note he wrote. I am the king of the country. I'm searching for a suitable candidate to be the king, next king, because I don't have a son. Krishna has unlimited wealth, but we have given up that wealth for all the wealth of this material creation. We have to be very, very cautious. So what's the hope? What's the hope for us? Only 2 ways out. And I'll quote reference for this also. Some pure devotee has to request Krishna that please accept him, he's a good person. Or the stubborn jiva, Prabhupada writes this word, the stubborn jiva has to take shelter of a pure devotee, understanding the reality of this material world. Then he's done. Then he's done. The jiva, Prabhupada writes this very clearly, the jiva can't cross this material existence on his own strength. Never, never, ever has this happened. And this is personally demonstrated by Prahlad Maharaj in the same chapter 28 shloka. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe. You remember the shloka? Nipatitam, fallen, janam, common man. Prabhava ahi kupe, the material existence which is filled with snake. Kam abhikam, desire after desire after desire. Prapatan, falling to it. Prasangat, why? Due to that bad association. Kritva atmasat. Now let's take the second point from here for today's discussion. This word is so powerful. If you read Prabhupada's purport here, absolutely stunning purport. Prabhupada has translated this Kritva atmasat. Prabhupada has put this in bracket. First, Prabhupada explains the word to word, and then in bracket, Prabhupada is writing. What Prabhupada is written? For Kritva atmasat, to acquire spiritual qualities like him. Him is whom? Narad Muni. Sura Rishina, Narad Muni. Bhagavan Grihita accepted me. Why has he accepted me? Because he wants to make sure that I acquire all spiritual qualities like him. So ham katham nu visrije tava bhritya seva. Oh my Lord, how can I forget the person who has got me out of this prabhava ahi kupe, that well which is filled with snakes? Now let's look at this word krita atmasat, very important word. So the krita atmasat is the association part which will give him that divine spiritual quality. See, the point that has to be understood is a particular type of association will help you develop a particular kind of qualities. Now let's quote Parasha Rishi. Parasha Rishi in the Purana, he is giving 3 things which create desire in person. Okay, with this 3 things, we'll elaborate one story each, and then we end the class. 3 things that create desire in a person. First, the graha dosha. Second, the samskara. And the third, current association. So 3 tense is given here. Graha dosh, which is due to the past. Samskara in the present life in this formative phase. And current association is the running phase. Past, present, future, everything covered in these 3 things. Okay, now let's look at each of them. Graha dosh. Now, what's the example for graha dosh? I'll give you an example for graha dosh. Graha dosh, we all know that all the planets are ruled by particular demigods. Okay, so demigods send particular events in your life so that you will understand that you had a particular desire in the past which is unfulfilled, and then you move ahead to complete the desire. Just for example, 4th Canto, 9th chapter, 32nd shloka. This is Dhruva Maharaj. Okay, what is Dhruva Maharaj saying? Matir vidushita deva. These demigods have influenced what? Mati, my intelligence. These demigods have influenced my Mati. But why did they influence your Mati, sir? Because if you read the past life of Dhruva Maharaj, he was a Raj Purohit who had an intense, he was a devotee, but he had an intense desire to be the king. Now, how will his desire to be a king be fulfilled? So the Devas will have to influence his Mati according to his past desires, which fall under the category of Graha influence, stars influencing. Okay, this is the example. 4, 9, 30. Second is samskara. When somebody is born, of course, he has a previous background. He comes and takes a new birth. His new family will give him a samskara. Most of the time, please understand, I have seen devotee parents also complain. We did so much for our child, for my daughter, my son, but they didn't complete my expectations. They went off. They didn't become good devotees. Whatever. So is it that we were wrong? We did something wrong, or was it our fault? Please, don't blame yourself. These 3 things will help you understand. Graha dosh is superbly influenced by his past desires. Just because he's born in a devotee family doesn't mean that he doesn't have a past. He's surely influenced. Second thing you can help him develop is the samskaras, which you can give him. Because past you can't change. Graha dosh can't be deleted. Never. Sorry. Whatever puja shanti is done is only to delay. Okay, that effect cannot be diluted. It can be done only by Krishna if he desires. Otherwise, nobody in this entire planet, bring anybody, can't do anything here. Okay. I'll tell you one story. Samskar. This comes in Jaimini Mahabharata. A very beautiful story, but how the samskaras affect, how the childhood environment affects to build up desires, or to form a certain mindset, or to form a certain way of behavior. So in Jaimini Mahabharata, Jaimini Rishi is quoting the story. He's saying that this is the event after the Rajasuya Yajna. After the Rajasuya Yajna, Yudhishthir Maharaj was about to do the Rajasuya Yajna. So they leave the horse of the sacrifice. And this horse is moving from different places. So one place, when this horse comes, he sees a very big slab of stone. And he feels itching on his back. So the horse goes and rubs his back on the stone. And that is the time, as he's rubbing his back, he's entering the stone. There is a point where he vanishes in the stone. So everybody is shocked. This is the horse of the sacrifice. Now, without him, how will the sacrifice be completed? And Arjuna is quite behind. So Arjuna comes here with the horse. He says they entered the stone. So he says, what? So everybody is amazed. If there is no horse, how will the sacrifice be completed? So he says, go and search for something. So as they start searching in the forest, they see weird things. Tiger is licking a calf. Rat and cat are playing together. Snake and mongoose playing together. Owl and crow at the day, 12 o'clock noon, are flying together. He says, there is something mystical here. Some rishi has to be here. So they say, find the rishi. Who is the person here? Then they go and they find a kuti and they enter the kuti, offer their obeisances, and they introduce themselves. And then the rishi says, I am Shauri Rishi. So then Arjuna says, sir, this has happened. Our horse has disappeared in the stone. We need it because without the horse, we can't complete the sacrifice. Then this Shauri Rishi starts laughing. He says, I'll tell you a story, backstory of this event. He says, okay, please tell. Everybody sits down listening to the story. So he said there was a sage who used to stay here. His name was Uddalak. And this Uddalak, over a period of time, as he got mature, so his parents decided him to get married to a girl. So there was a girl, a Brahmin girl, who her name was Chandi. So this Uddalak and Chandi, they both decided to get married. So during the marriage, now the entire event is happening there, and the priest is introducing this. You have to do this, and then all the rituals are happening. This, and in the end, the priest says to this Chandi that, see, now you both are getting married. Now you will have to be following the instructions of your husband, because he has certain schedule to follow. He has certain pujas and yagyas to do. So you assist him. As soon as the priest says, the Chandi gets furious. He said, no, why should I follow him? I'll never follow him. First statement. The Uddalak hears this for the first time. He says, what? She says, never I will follow my husband. So the priest is saying, okay, don't worry. So Uddalak is like very upset. She's right from day one. She is saying no. So the priest says, okay, gradually she'll start learning. Don't worry, you get married. So because people are there around, things are already fallen in place, you get married. And after they start their married life, Uddalak understands that whatever he says, she does the exact opposite. And her behavior kept on growing bad and bad, from bad to worse. One day, Uddalak asked her that, let's have a family now. So we'll do a yajna for a child. She said, no yajna, no child. I don't want any child. So he's upset. So okay, she says, bring the kamandalu, I'll get water and do my puja. He says, what kamandalu? You get it yourself. Exact opposite. Uddalak understands that he has married to a wrong person. And that is the time when he's so upset, because his mind has started troubling him. Because he is now with such a person. How long can you adjust with such a person who is absolutely not cooperative? Whatever you say, exact opposite. And he's so tense. See, same with the shloka, mind, same thing. Mind is troubling. Now, one day what happens, he is absolutely in a distressed condition. So one day, sage Kaundilya visits him. And Kaundilya, as soon as he enters the house, he can understand. See, house can be understood how it is just by observing the basic things. If things are in proper place, if the house is clean, if the temple hall or the altar is clean, and if the toilet and bathroom is clean, you have to understand that the lady is still in a very good state of mind, and she is handling the house very nicely. It's very easy. If you see the man, if you see his behavior, his way of coming, his way of entering the house and doing the thing, you can understand what is his contribution. And seeing the house, you can understand what the lady's contribution. So Saint Kaundilya said, see, I can understand you're in trouble, but I can give you a solution for it. He says, yes, please give me some solution. He says, you say the right thing always. So don't say the right thing. You say the opposite thing. For example, if you want to get sadhus at your house for a ceremony, tell her, I will never get sadhus. They're all bogus people or bad people. So he says, will this work? He said, you try. So he does that. So that 15 days is his father's Shraddha. So he says, I'll not call sadhus for Shraddha. I'll not call Brahmanas. They're all bad people. So immediately Chandy says, you should call, because that's the right thing you have to do. I'll feed them. I'll take care of them. And the entire thing is done by her very nicely. And then this Uddala gets how to deal. See, every situation you have something to deal with. If you have a proper guide, then you can deal with things. So every time he's saying the opposite thing. If he wants to call some people at the, don't call bad people. No, you call, I'll feed them. She's doing everything nicely. And over a period of time, what happened was her good side started coming up. And quite some time went by. But the thing was, Uddala forgot that that's a basic nature she's carrying. You still haven't dealt with the basic nature. It was a superficial solution. And over a period of time, what happened was, he thought that she has changed now, but she hadn't changed. Only thing was, he had a way to deal with the situation, but the root cause wasn't addressed. And he thought now she has changed. So one day he did the puja, and there was a lot of nirmalya that was remaining. So he said, take this nirmalya and throw in the river. She took it and threw it in the garbage. Now this is the time Uddalak lost his control. And he was so fed up now with her behavior that he cursed her that you are such an insensitive person. You can't behave properly. You don't have emotional feelings for somebody else. You don't respect anybody. So I curse you to be a stone who is very insensitive. So he curses Chandi to become a stone. And Chandi becomes a stone. And this is the same stone where the horse has entered. So Arjuna understands, oh, this is Chandi. So Arjuna is not worried about Chandi. He's saying, horse, where is the horse? We need the horse. So then this sage says, Uddalak, when he understood that he had made a mistake, mind, troubles, anger, up, down, Uddalak understood his own mistake. See, here we are speaking of a sage. If we read Chitraketu's pastime, who lost the temper, who lost the control? Not an ordinary person. The Jagadamba, the mother of the entire creation, Ma Parvati, she lost her control. This is how mind troubles. It's a serious thing. We'll take this last point. So Uddalak understands, done a great mistake. So he gives her a blessing that when Yudhishthir Maharaj will conduct his Rajasuya sacrifice, and when Arjuna comes with the horse, and when Arjuna touches you with his feet, you will be delivered. And the sage tells Arjuna, go and touch her. Arjuna goes, touches her, and as soon as Arjuna touches her, she gets back her original form, and now she's thoroughly changed. She's thoroughly changed. Why? Now she's been associating in that great pain of repentance. We'll take last two examples and we'll conclude this point. She's repenting, and that repentance cured her past. Okay. So Uddalak understood his mistake, he clarified. Chandi understood her mistake, she clarified. And this is how we have to understand how things are working in this nature. It's not one person. And the third, so parents don't have to worry. First, because that is a Purva Sanchit. Second, the samskaras are created. And how did Chandi get? Because she got from her mother. This is the point. The samskaras are got there. And the third thing that brings about desires are association. There is a story which comes, there is a king named as Vishwa Prarthan, and he had a very, very bad son, Kshatrabandhu. He was so bad, such bad association. The king did so much for him, but unfortunately, he landed up in a bad association. His behavior was so bad, everybody was complaining. The king gave him so many warnings, he was not ready to change. One day, yes, association, one day, he did such a big blunder, the king threw him out of the kingdom. So he went in forest. He went to the forest and started troubling the sadhus. He started troubling the sadhus. So the sadhus were like, man, where did we land up? So one day what happened? One sadhu, while he was taking bath in the river, he lost his control and he slipped and he started flowing away. So this Kshatrabandhu, he jumped in Due to some pious activities of his father, he jumped in, he saved the sadhu. The sadhu was so happy because he thought that if I didn't continue with this life, my sadhana would have been incomplete. He blesses Shatrabandhu and he tells Shatrabandhu that I'll gift you something. Shatrabandhu is what you can give. He says, I'll give you gift of the name of Govinda. So whatever you do, he says, I'm into all bad business. He says, whatever you do, you just chant Govinda, Govinda. So the Shatrabandhu, every time he's doing all bad activity, but he's still chanting Govinda, 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 Govinda. And that Govinda, Govinda, that names is so getting deeper in his mind that it has become his second nature to chant Govinda. Even in wrong activities, he's chanting Govinda. And while chanting that Govinda's name, at one day he leaves his body. And he leaves his body, he takes birth in devotee family. And from there, he goes back to Godhead. So it's not needed that somebody whom you feel as a devotee now has to go back to Godhead in this one life itself. No, it can be next lifetime also. But the addition has to be done now by somebody, maybe parents, maybe devotees. Somebody has to add something in his life. Somebody has to add something in his life. Just like the sadhu added Govinda name, that addition is important. That association of the holy name of Krishna and the sadhu will create that transformation. There is no other way to deal with the mind. If you're in the right association, you will be saved. Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati was in her association, and the ghost and hobgoblins were in his association. Being in the association of Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati got angry. But being in the association of Lord Shiva, the ghost got benefited. How? Because as soon as Mother Parvati uttered the curse, all the great sages, all the Parshadas of Lord Shiva came there to see. Why? To see the what the game or what, how Mother Parvati cursed? No. To see how the person who was at one time given personal darshan of the Lord, now the Lord had given him personal darshan. How will that same Lord now save his own devotee? And this is what Shukdev Goswami is saying to Parikshit Maharaj. So Chitraketu Maharaj, look at what happens. Mind can create any situation anytime. For Chitraketu Maharaj, all of a sudden he spoke and this mess happened. But look what Chitraketu Maharaj has done. Chitraketu Maharaj was so clear. He got down, he went to Mother Parvati, he begged for her forgiveness. He said one thing, Mother, please don't hold this grudge against me. Don't hold this anger against me. I accept your curse, but I didn't do it on purpose. It just came out because association of the Apsaras. You have to understand. Because Mother Parvati says this. When Chitraketu Maharaj is saying, oh, Lord Shiva sitting with his wife on her lap, Mother Parvati is saying, I am one lady on his one lap. You are there with n number of ladies. How dare you comment on Lord Shiva? Okay, that was her mind. So he gets down, clarifies the thing. Mother Parvati feels repentance. She says, my blessings to you. And because of that clearing of that miscommunication, even in the body of Vritrasura, now demon's mind, you know how much that mind troubles. But Vritrasura's mind didn't trouble him. Why? Because he was still able to relish his Krishna Bhakti. Why? Because that curse affected, but the aparadha didn't affect him because he had clarified the matter. And this is the point which Shukdev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj, sir, you committed blunder against Shamik Rishi, but you didn't clarify. You didn't clarify. You didn't pacify him. And that is where Parikshit Maharaj starts lamenting continuously. And that lamentation purified him. And the association of Shukdev Goswami, by his mercy, he was able to relish the rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by association, anything and everything is possible. Diti stayed with Kashyap Rishi. She had such bad desires, but staying with Kashyap Rishi gave her Pumsavan Vrat. She got purified and gave birth to 49 devotee kids. So if your prarabdha, your past is not good, it's still okay. If your samskaras are not that good, or if samskaras were covered, it's still okay. But if you land up in the wrong association, even if first two things are all good, you be washed away. So if you want to deal with this mind, we need strong association of devotees every single moment, not day, every single moment. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you Prabhu. Dhanva Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Very beautiful Katha Prabhu. So many examples. But certainly, as you said, the desires, evam janam nipatatam pravahai kupe, that always gets us in. So many beautiful stories, Prabhu. I'll ask to listen again to just remember those beautiful stories, beautiful stories. All from Shastras. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your time. Prabhuji, Nitika Mataji has already her hand raised. Hare Krishna, Nitika Mataji. Dhanva. Thank you for your rapt attention, Mataji. During all the class, you were making notes and very inspiring. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the lovely class. I have a question. I've understood the samskara and current associations which bring about desires. I didn't understand the griha dosha.
Graha dosha.
Yeah.
Graha dosh, actually we call it dosh, but see, when the grahas are affecting you, it is based on your past actions. Okay, so when graha are in certain position, they are indicative of your past actions, and according to your past action, the grahas are placed, and accordingly you act, because now you'll have to go through the consequence or the corresponding reaction. Okay, so graha.
Perfect. It's related to the astrological thing. So now it's clear. So it's the astrological part, griha dosha.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Radha Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna. Dhanva Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams to you. Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned one. Pranams to you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned about the mind. When it comes to a certain association, we develop a certain quality. So, could you please locate where is the description or explanation about this? And another question is,
the entire Bhagavatam is speaking about association. Just like at the end we saw the
but
story
you
of
specified, Prabhuji, that a certain association will bring the certain qualities. So I was just thinking, is it somewhere it is concluded?
Yeah, so many times it is concluded that based on association only you will be able to develop certain qualities. The association gives you, that's the gift of the association. If you are in bad association, you will have bad quality. If you are in good association, you'll start behaving badly.
And Prabhuji, you mentioned one statement that the mind will give the first, ask the permission at the very first, isn't it? So it is very difficult to be attentive and understand. We are so busy and the mind itself is a monkey. So how will understand the first indication? How will be attentive to notice that first indication that you were mentioning? Is there any words for that or explanation for that?
There is no such verse, but it is a more psychological process. See, mind always takes permission, because mind as an entity is image conscious. Have you ever seen or have you ever felt to do a wrong thing when you are in a public place? No. Wrong things are always done in a certain association or when you are alone. Association, you don't need permission because you feel that it's not required because everybody is doing the same thing. But when you're alone, mind will ask for, I want to do this. It will keep pushing through the senses. It will keep pushing, and when the pushing is too much, we say, okay, let's do it. And we are done with the activity. But but most of the time what's happening is we are so much used to doing that same thing. Now we don't require a permission. Mind forces us to do it and it's done. Okay, so this is how the mind works. Now we have to check out how we have trained our mind. By repetition. Mind gets trained by repetition. So you have to check what activities are you repeating, or what activities have you been repeating over the past. And if they are repeated too much, it's become a habit now. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and eternally grateful to you. And wonderful, wonderful stories. And we have learned so much from your stories. About the association, about that stone story has really touched my heart. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radha Jyoti Mataji. Thank you. Parima Mataji, Dandava Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. And it's really very inspiring. But Prabhuji, I have this question that I have heard that, basically devotees, if they are chanting, the Griya dosha doesn't affect them much. But even if it does, how do we overcome it? Because if it makes us think in a particular way, can we move away from bhakti if it makes us think in a particular way? I mean, it means in a very negative way. I mean, it's scary.
No, it's not scary. Just like in COVID, see, everybody was being afraid of the influence of COVID. But then immediately within a few months, we got a vaccine and we got vaccinated and we got protected. Similarly, even if the stars, see, the stars will create an event. Response is created by us. Okay, they'll create an event, you will have to enter that event. But how to deal with that event? If you have proper devotee association, if you have proper guidance, how will you go wrong? So what's there to bother? Ultimately, in good times, you have to chant Hare Krishna. In bad times, in association of devotees, you have to chant Hare Krishna and call out for Krishna. That's what we have to do.
Prabhuji, we do call out for Krishna, but then, we do get affected if it's the situation is sad or if there is some loss.
That is what we are saying. Even if the situation is bad, if you disclose that situation to your senior devotees, they'll help you get out of that situation. Most of the times, what we do is we try and fight ourselves. And that's the most harmful thing that can happen to us. When you take help, automatically you get the strength, because half the pressure is gone, because all my problems are shared now. Sharing distributes the pressure of the problem. And when you get a proper solution, half the 50% is also gone, because now you are in the action mode. So that is why association is very, very crucial. I've always told this story. There was one devotee, Mataji, who was pregnant, and later on it was found that she was HIV positive. And then the question came, what to do with the situation now? You can't abort the baby, and what to do. So she consulted senior devotees. They said, you can't harm the baby because Krishna has given you. So let it be born. Whatever time it will be on this planet, you give him the best and leave the rest to Krishna. And she was happy. She did it. So no situation is a problem or great in the association of devotees, because here you will get proper guidance, proper solution to deal with that situation.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful explanation. And your class was wonderful and so inspiring, Prabhuji. Thank you. Dandavad pranams to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Parima Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. There are a couple of comments in the chat box. They are saying, they're thanking you very much, devotees. Shivani Mataji is there. Lalita Mataji and Deen Bandhu Prabhu. They have written a big letter. Beautiful
Long
devotee.
time, long. Haven't seen that.
Very well. Okay, dear devotees, if nobody has any more questions, we can end the call here. Yeah, Prabhu, I don't see any more hand raised or questions. Yeah, Lalita Mataji is there. Okay.
Yes. They have come and darshan.
Yeah, their darshan are important.
Please, both of you, please keep me in your prayers. They always appreciate my broken words. So even if my mother has left, I never feel that I'm bereft of my mother's love. Both are there to take care of.
No, your words are very beautiful, Prabhu. Very soothing. Very nice katha, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your humbleness and thank you for your time, Prabhu. Dear devotees, let us pay our obeisances to all the assembled devotees and the Prabhuji. Vancha kalaptaru kripa sindhu Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grace Sukmar Gaura Prabhu ji ki jai.
Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining the call. We shall end the call here. Hare Krishna.
Mataji